that quality took him over, and what happened? That he killed his brother Habil. The first murderer on the face of earth in the human race is Habil. So this is where the truthfulness and rightfulness in the form of Habil was confronted by Habil, the wrongdoer, or you can say the corrupt person mentally and his understanding and the aggressive one. Similarly, in the history at the time of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, the ruler there was Namrud. Namrud was, his history is, as the people tell us, that when he was born, his mother died. There was nobody to look after that baby. Allah ordered a she-wolf to feed that baby. You know, wolf never feeds anyone. Wolf is the only animal which, if another wolf becomes injured or is going to die, they eat their own species. They eat their own wolves even. They don't spare them. But Allah ordered a she-wolf to feed that baby. So what happened? That baby grew up. And when he became strong and powerful, and then he became the ruler of that area, he became the king. So at that time, Ibrahim ﷺ was the one who believed in one God, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the ruler, he didn't accept that, and he confronted Ibrahim ﷺ and decided to throw Ibrahim into the fire. The wood was collected, dry bushes were collected for months, and a huge fire was lit. And that fire was so hot that nobody could come near that, and they call it manjanik. It's an instrument where the people used to throw stones in the wars on the opposite side. Big stones used to be thrown, so they used to pull that and then put the stone and then leave that, so with the trigger it used to go and throw away the stones. In that manjanik, Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ was thrown into the fire, and then the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, the angel came to Ibrahim and asked him, "Oh Ibrahim, do you want anything from Allah?" He said, "Yes, I want something from Allah, but I don't want to share it with you, because the one whom I want from, he knows what I want." This was the iman of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So when Ibrahim went into the fire, Allah cooled down. The fire is hot, but he cooled down the fire and he didn't burn. So I want to say these are the confrontations which are there in Quran. Similarly, the next confrontation which we get the story from Quran is that of Fir'aun, the ruler who had enslaved Bani Israel, the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam. The sons of Yaqub, most of them, they were the ones who threw their brother Yusuf into the well just to get rid of him, and told their father that he has been killed by the wolves. And Hazrat Yaqub came to know that he hadn't, such a thing had not happened. And later on, after years, Yusuf was joined by Yaqub alayhi salam with the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, we see that the confrontation of Fir'aun and Musa is a part of history. That's also there. Similarly, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah sent him as a blessing for the universes, but even he was confronted by Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab sort of people. So in such conditions, what we see is that in those confrontations, the peak of such confrontation was the confrontation between Yazid and Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. What was the reason? Why did Imam Hussain wanted to confront Yazid? Yazid was the one who didn't follow the rules and regulations of Islam, and he became the ruler of the Muslim community. And obviously, when somebody becomes the ruler, everybody listen to them. They listen to them, whatever he says, whatever rules he make, everybody follows them because he's the ruler. So he started saying there was no messenger, there was no book. And being the ruler of the Muslim, if Imam Hussain would not have confronted him, what would have happened? that the people would have forgotten Islam and they would have gone away from Islam. So now it was the duty of the lineage of Adam alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. This is a whole line of those who are supposed to guide the mankind to tell the people and confront Yazid. So Imam Hussain said, I am going to guide the people and bring them to the right track and do Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. So this is just an important thing to understand. Now, when we come and see Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Imam Hussain was obviously the grandson of Rasulullah, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had guided the people and told them that I am from Hussain and Hussain is from me. No doubt Hussain is from the family, is the grandson of Rasulullah. But when Rasulullah is saying that I am from Hussain, means my deen, the message I have brought in, will be saved by Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. So if Imam Hussain would not have confronted Yazid, what would have happened? Everything would have shattered. Now, just one more thing that we need to understand. Why are these lineages, why are the good people confronted by the bad ones? By these materialistic people who are slaves of their worldly desires. Why are the people confronted by them? Why are good people? Everyone likes to be a good person. Nobody wants to lie. Everybody likes a truthful person. Everybody likes the soft-speaking person. Everybody likes the person who looks after them. But why then these people come forward and they confront such good and nice people, and they've confronted in the history? The reason is that the materialistic people, they are only and only, the mission of their life becomes to grab money from one person or other person by hook or by crook. So this is what they do. Their aim and objective is to collect money and money and money and money. Whereas the people who believe in God and believe in Allah, such people, they say that we should work on ourselves, become a good person, become a truthful person, a rightful person, care for other, helping other, and like having a soft corner for those who have not been able to make so much money. But when the person becomes materialistic, he forgets God, and slowly and gradually this is what happened. Now we see in Karbala there are two camps, Imam Hussain alayhi salam and Yazid's camp. There were thousands of soldiers in the army of Yazid, and there were nearly approximately 72 soldiers with Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. And then the family, next of kin, and the ladies and the children, they were extra. We can say that about 150, maybe 150 or something like that. So now an army of thousands is confronting these 72 people, just because these 72 people in the leadership of Imam Hussain is confronting those 1,000 people and their ruler Yazid. Why was it important? If Imam Hussain would not have confronted them, everybody would have thought that whatever Yazid is saying is the rightful and the truthful thing. So Islam would have vanished from the face of earth. And if such thing would have happened after the last messenger and the last book revealed, what would have happened? Allah would have finished the world, because there won't be any other messenger who will be coming. So it was important for Imam Hussain. Now, the camp of Imam Hussain, they were praying, they were fasting, they were believing in Allah. And the camp of Yazid, they were believing in Allah, they were praying, they were fasting. And the camp of Yazid, they had gone straight to an extent that they were praying, oh Allah, bless us with killing Imam Hussain so that our ruler is safe. And whereas the camp of Imam Hussain used to pray, oh Allah, bless us with defending Islam. The aim and objective of the camp of Imam Hussain was to defend Islam. And the camp of Yazid were just wanting to please Yazid so that they can get more and more benefits from him, prizes from him, money, wealth, and governmental posts or other worldly desires could be fulfilled by Yazid. Now, This is an important factor to understand that the difference between them was Tauheed and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, like if there is a vacuum, air fills that vacuum. If there is a ditch somewhere and it rains, what happens? The rainwater is collected in that ditch, and that water, when it's not flowing, what happens there? Germs, mosquitoes, flies, insects, they start growing in them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created us, in our brain, in our mind, in our thoughts and vision, Allah has created a slot for the chip, for a USB of belief in Allah, Tauheed. There is a slot which is filled by belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we don't believe in Allah, what happens? That vacuum is filled by every negative person, like Yazid, like Shimr, like Pharaoh, like Namrud, Shaddad, Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, and such people. And this lineage is very important so that we can confront them and understand how do they become. How did Yazid become Yazid? Because he didn't believe in Allah, he didn't care for the orders of Allah. When Allah orders us to take care of our good things and have good moral values in ourselves, don't lie, don't be harsh to your family, don't be harsh to your brothers and sisters and other people, don't be harsh to other human beings even. Amirul Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salatu wasalam said that everyone is your brother in religion if he is a Muslim. If he is not a Muslim, he is genetically he is your brother. You belong to the same father and mother, so you should care for them. You can't break the law just because somebody doesn't believe in your religion and his belief is different. So Imam Hussain tells us the story of Imam Hussain, the martyrdom of Imam Hussain teaches us that we should stand against the negative values. This is very important so that the society gets rid of negativities and they come towards the positivities. This is what is the duty of a believer. Believer is like a tree. You know what does the tree do? If the trees are there and the plants are there and the green plants are there, what happens? These green plants and the trees, they take away carbon dioxide from the air and give them oxygen. A believer is the one who takes the negativities of the society and brings positivities into the society. How do they bring them? By doing Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. The Western society tell us, oh, it's my life, it's my business, let everyone do whatever they can do. Islam says that no, if one of your brothers or sisters or another human being is doing something wrong, everyone is duty bound to with being polite to them, with speaking to them, with getting close to them, with logic and rationality, convince them that my brother, my sister, what you are doing is wrong, don't do it. You will have negativities coming into you and negative repercussions will be faced by you. So this is the message of Karbala, that if negativities we don't control, in the end we end up into the worldly desires, and that is the camp of Yazid. And if we control ourselves and worldly desires are controlled, and we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we move towards Allah, then the camp of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the camp of Rasulullah, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, all these camps of the good people, they are available to us to move and get benefits for our worldly life and hereafter. Benefits for our body, benefits for our thoughts, and benefits for our soul. And soul is eternal. When we die, our soul don't die. It separates from the body and we say the person died. But our soul is living. It is eternal. It will live forever and ever. It is not from ever and ever, but it will live forever and ever, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told. So the message of Karbala is, do good things, be the firm believer in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then don't care if somebody is creating problems for you, face them with smile, guide others, and guide those who want to be guided. You can't guide someone who doesn't want to be guided. That's the message of Karbala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all with His special blessings in understanding the message of Karbala and living, changing our lives according to the wishes of Imam Hussain, because this is the path where the last of the Imams, this is the time when the last of the Imam is too close, his time is too close to come, and for that time we need to prepare. Be Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam in his last will says, be the supporters of those who are subjected to suppression, oppression and tyranny, and be the opposers of the suppressors, oppressors and tyrants, zalimin. Those who are zalim, be an open opposer to them. And those who are subjected to zulm, you should be supporters for them. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, mashallah, then we can, inshallah, we can have those questions. You also, mashallah. I'm very happy, glad today that I'm among my previous students for some years back. How many years?
About 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
We are seeing them after 6 years. So when they were children, like kids, and now they're grown up, mashallah, and I'm seeing them after such a long time. Allah bless them all, and Allah bless our viewers who are there on the online with us, inshallah. So if there is any question about any question,
You ask.
yes.
Okay, I have a question. थोड़ा सा like practical question है like about life. तो आपको पता है जैसे हम मुहर्रम को celebrate करते हैं every year, 2 महीने basically हम mourn करते हैं. So do you think that the way we mourn is making any difference? जैसे हम कहते हैं कि हम colors नहीं पहनेंगे 2 महीने, और like हंसना नहीं है और movies नहीं देखनी, ऐसी चीजें. Like, do you think this is
Yeah. Your question is that if the way we mourn by wearing dark clothes and
But
we
you
are
don't
not
want to
smiling, we are grieved, we act as if we are grieved.
yeah.
So does it make any difference? This is your question.
Yeah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, the grief is for 2 reasons. Imam Hussain can't be taken as an individual who got killed in Karbala. It's much more than that. It's the lineage of truthfulness and rightfulness. So, in Islam, our deen, our religion tell us that if you are subjected to zulm, to tyranny, somebody suppresses you and oppresses you, you are not supposed to take that tyranny, that zulm on you. You have to stand against him. So, what if somebody is very powerful, you can't stand in front of him? Then you have to tell the other Muslim community, other human beings, that I am subjected, my rights have been usurped by someone. So everybody, it becomes wajib for them to come forward and get your rights from that person. Now, when Imam Hussain والسلام, was martyred along with his companions, it was not a battle between Yazid and Imam Hussain. It was the battle between 2 ways of thinking. It was between a suppressor and oppressor and a materialistic person on one side who believed in wealth, who believed in power, who believed in fame, who believed in his military power, who believed that the people's public support is too much with them, and he has bought people, he has given them money, so he has collected them. On the other hand, Imam Hussain والسلام, was confronting him so that the values of Islam and the good values should prevail in the world. They should live. They should be a part of the life. So in that sense, when we mourn, in reality, this is a message that the Karbala never started in the year 61 of Hijrah, and it never ended. It will end with the coming of Imam Mahdi Ajallahu Ta'ala Farajo Sharif. The Karbala will end. So what is this? Was Yazid a problem? Imam Hussain never said that I will never pay allegiance to Yazid. He said a person like me can never pay allegiance to a person like Yazid. It means it is not the problem of 2 persons. The problem is 2 qualities. Qualities of Imam Hussain If anybody having the qualities of Imam Hussain can never confront and can never pay allegiance and submit to a person who has got the qualities of Yazid. Now, what we are doing with mourning, first of all, if we get in-depth studies of Imam Hussain, that he did it for the whole humanity. Obviously, he did it for us, for our coming generations and the past generations. So we are duty bound to keep his memory, so that memory of Imam Hussain is something which gives us warmth of our heart, that the only grandson living on this planet, he stood up against the wrongdoers. So we are also suppose that it's something he was top in the knowledge. Nobody had more knowledge at that time than Imam Hussain. So his knowledge, his wisdom, everything, that means a wise person, a knowledgeable person, and an intelligent person will always follow that path. That's number one. So we grieve that. So to link that Karbala with the time of Imam Mahdi when he comes. Now, wearing the clothes is the sign of our grief. The grief should be there when we listen to what happened with Imam Hussain. It is not something in Quran, in Surah Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Bani Israel killed many of the messengers and the prophets. Too many were killed. Hazrat Yahya was killed. Allah bless you with the ziyarat of Damascus. If you go to Damascus there, where there is the palace of Yazid. Inside there is the grave of Hazrat Yahya. And he was killed in the same way as Imam Hussain was slaughtered. Why? Because at that time, the king wanted to marry the girl whose mother was his wife. A girl he wanted to marry whose mother he had already married and was his wife. So religion doesn't allow you to get married to someone whose mother is your wife. So when Hazrat Yahya confronted him and told him that this is not the law of Allah, you can't do them. That the woman, that was also a wrongdoer, and the king was a bad person. They both collaborated. The mother said that if you want to marry my daughter, you have to kill Hazrat Yahya. So then the people came that if you kill the messenger of God, the wrath of Allah will come over and everything will be destroyed. So they made a bowl of a big stone. The bowl is still there in the palace of Yazid. Big bowl, about 1.5 meter diameter, 1 meter, about more than a meter diameter. And they created the bowl just for the sake that when Hazrat Yahya his throat is slit, the blood shouldn't fall on earth, because if it falls on earth, then Allah will bring azab and wrath of Allah will come onto the humanity. So these type of people, they have been doing that. Now we are on which side? There are two groups. One are the wrongdoers and one are the right doers. With love of Imam Hussain, we start hating those who are the wrongdoers, and we hate the wrong things. So that is something which brings us close to Imam Hussain. And when we see the way he planned it, just for the sake, if Imam Hussein's martyrdom would not have been there, everybody would have been doing bad. Nobody wants to be called Yazid, except for those who themselves have become shaitan and the followers of Yazid. Nobody we see a good person, it's natural, it's in our instinct that we will never say good to a wrong thing. So with that, the Imam Hussein's memory in our heart, mind and soul is important. Grief comes automatically. Our dress is black or we are grieved. It should not be that we should crave grief. That's okay. But at least if we come too close to Imam Hussain, we understand Imam Hussain, we will automatically be grieved. So that grief is in reality, we are spreading the message of Imam Hussain, which is the message of Allah, and that in itself is an ibadat of Allah. It makes Allah happy, and the wrongdoers are scared of Imam Hussain. That's why whenever people come and they they commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hussain, these people, they become annoyed with that. So, but I would say that everybody is remembering Imam Hussain according to his own mental capacity and understanding. So sometimes people, according to their traditions, they start remembering Imam Hussain. The real thing in Imam Hussain are the teachings of Imam Hussain. So that those teachings must be spread. If people come to know about the teachings of Imam Hussain, then what will happen? Everybody will be attracted towards Imam Hussain as the iron piece is attracted towards a magnet. So what we need to do is the personality of Imam Hussain must be brought forward and shown to the world. And with that, the grief is automatic. When you see the person of such high esteem has been martyred so brutally, and the family of the granddaughter, it's just two generations. The messenger, and then his daughter Fatima Zahra, and then the daughter of Fatima Zahra, they are just marched through streets and all that places. It brings grief in itself. Just for our sake, for the coming generations, they did it, and they made it like a, on the in the sea, if there is a rock or something, they used to make their lighthouses where there used to be light. So the ships when come, they come to know, oh, this is a dangerous point, we shouldn't go there. So this is like a lighthouse for beacon of light for the whole humanity. Don't do bad things, and the good things must be supported and held, and the bad must be confronted and opposed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Any other questions? No?
Do we have time for this?
Yeah, try.
Yeah?
If there is
Do
any
we have
question.
time? Also, I just want to ask
You keep on asking me questions and I'll take my tea.
from where it's decided that we will have that mourn time 2 months, 8 days, because when they went for
40th.
yeah, ये कब से स्टार्ट हुआ था?
क्या चीज 40 days?
नहीं कि हम जो सोग बनाते हैं वो 2 महीने 8 दिन है, उसके बाद हम सोग बढ़ाते हैं.
This is a
इसका क्या
tradition.
Traditional
This is traditional.
Traditional
This
song is
and-
true.
and this has nothing to do with the religion. It's a tradition, but the 40 days mourning is there. 40 days, 40, number 40 has got a lot of importance. In the hadith it is said, when you turn 40, hold the staff in your hand. So people think that it's a stick, you should have a stick in your hand. No, it's be more careful in your life. When you turn 40, now you are like mature enough that you can't bear to have do mistakes now. So this is what is important. 40th day after they say that when a person dies, the soul is moving in the house and it's remembering their family, looking at till 40 days. Then man akhlasa lillahi arba'ina sabahan jarrat yanabi'ul hikmati min qalbihi ala lisani. Whosoever make himself pure for the sake of Allah for 40 days, Allah will make the springs of wisdom run from their heart onto their tongues. Allah will bless them with knowledge, not the knowledge of the colleges and the universities. And the real knowledge comes from our heart onto our tongues and our mind and our soul. That is very important. So such things we need to say that 40 days, and even if we commemorate them for 2 months or something like that, the message of Karbala should not be confined to some days. It is that it should be a complete message, continuous message, because the suppression and oppression is going on continuously. So we can't say that 40 days we commemorate Imam Hussain, then forget Imam Hussain, let's do other things. No, it's not like that. We have to do it continuously. It should be a part of our life. Every day, if a person believes in Imam Hussain, he will never do wrong thing. He will never suppress and oppress, because suppression, oppression is not in the camp of Imam Hussain, it is in the camp of Yazid. In whatsoever form, whether individual does it, whether a group of people does it, whether a family does it, or an organization do it, or a government do it. It's suppression, oppression, tyranny, zulm. It is not to be taken in any way. And if somebody is doing that, we need to stand in front of it.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Molana Sahab, it may confuse maybe with some people when they say, as Sog of Imam Hussain is continued, it is not confined to some days. Like when they say Eid is not Eid, it is also 10th of Imam Ali, and the other Eid is also
Yeah,
for
look, on the
Imam.
Eid day we should be grieved, and instead of celebrating, we
Yeah.
should be grieved.
Hazrat Muslim bin
You
Aqil,
know,
for example,
we-
they say.
no, whatever we do, we have to listen to what the imams did and
Imams did.
how did they, what did they do. So on the Eid day, it's not like a celebration of something that we are breaking the laws of Islam to celebrate. Eid is from the word which means it indicates of a U-turn. We in our everyday life automatically we get close to materialistic things. When a baby is born, he needs a cot, a bed, which is made of matter. He needs like a cushion, which is made of matter. He needs food, which is made of matter. He needs clothes and everything. And whatever his needs and requirements from our day one are fulfilled by matter. So gradually we start thinking that my needs and requirements are fulfilled by matter. So he starts believing in what we call a Rab. Rab is nourisher, provider, and obviously the lawmaker is wealth and money and all that stuff. And to take us away from that, our belief in Allah is necessary. And that belief takes us away from being subservient to materialism. So this message has to be continuous. It's not, you can't say that it's for the time being or now we can believe in it and this message should be stopped later on. So we have to continue with the message, and this message can't be that on Eid day we should be like it's not something to celebrate and be happy. How do you describe a believer's way of being happy and expressing his happiness is different than a non-believer's way of expressing his happiness. Like here, people, for example, grieved or happy, they start drinking, you know. And in our countries, for example, if somebody is grieved, he will remain quiet, he'll cry, he will listen to the light. And if some high esteemed person passes away and we are grieved about him, we will say, okay, why was he killed? To stop his mission. So what I will do, I will continue with his mission. This is important thing. That the mission of Imam Hussain, the mission of the messengers and the prophets should continue, and I should become a part. So once we are taking that mission forward, that means we are with them. About the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Quran says, Muhammad Rasulullah wallazina ma'ahu ashidda'u alal kufar rahama'u bainahum. The messenger is the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the messenger of Allah, and whosoever are accompanying him, they are hard with those who negate Allah, and they are soft among themselves. So this means that the people who are accompanying is without the time in the coming future, and all those people who are joining them. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
Thank you, Molana Sahab.
wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much.